Donald Trump's legal problems have just ended. They ended immediately. Jack Smith, the special prosecutor who Biden sicked on Trump to try to throw his chief political rival into prison, he has just dropped his case. You remember, Jack Smith was pursuing two cases. There was the classified documents case that Donald Trump had some documents in Florida. And now Joe Biden, of course, had classified documents that he had even less of a right to have, splayed out in multiple properties, in his garage next to his Corvette, available to his crackhead son who was selling secrets to the Chinese, allegedly. Trying to sell secrets to the Chinese, allegedly, and peddling American influence elsewhere in the world, including Ukraine. That didn't matter. No prosecution of Biden, but Donald Trump kept a souvenir keychain from the White House, so you got to throw him in prison for 500 years. That case was already thrown out by the judge in the case, Eileen Cannon. But there was another case. There was the federal case being pursued by the DOJ and by Jack Smith that Donald Trump tried to overturn the 2020 election. That case is done. Deader than disco. It's over. Now, in principle, Jack Smith could have kept this case going until Trump took office. Trump had already promised. He said, I'm firing Jack Smith day one. I believe his phrase was, within 2 seconds of taking office, I'm firing Jack Smith, as he well should. But Jack Smith could continue the case up until January 20th. He's not. It's over. And this reminds us of something. Jeremy mentioned it on Backstage yesterday. But one of our friends here, Siaka, Black Jeremy, in the commercials, he was at the election party, and when the results came in, he said, wow, I'm not going to prison. Because Siaka was at the Capitol on January 6th, and he wasn't, committing violence or anything like that. He was just at the Capitol, exercising his constitutional rights to protest in the People's House, and he was later on raided, later on even than that, arrested. It was an obvious political prosecution. And he said, wow, Trump just won, and now I'm not going to prison unjustly. Elections have real consequences, real tangible consequences for real people. In this case, the Democrats were trying to imprison their chief political rival, and they were trying to do it for years. And they came pretty close to doing it. And then the American people said, no, we don't want that. Poll after poll showed that the vast majority of the American people believed that the prosecutions of Donald Trump were politically motivated. This wasn't a matter of Lady Justice being blind. This was a matter of thug Democrats shredding the Constitution to wield the state to imprison their political enemies, like happens in tin pot dictatorships and banana republics. It was a national disgrace. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the entire Democrat apparatus should go down in infamy for their actions. And now that's over. Right now, go to expressvpn.com/election. Imagine taking your browsing history and nailing it to the front door of your house for all your neighbors to see. As insane as that sounds, that is exactly what most of us are doing every day. That's why you need to use ExpressVPN. Internet providers can see every website you've ever visited. In many countries around the world, they are required to keep logs of your online activity in case the government needs to take a peek. In the US, ISPs can even sell your data to whomever they please. Because I use ExpressVPN, my internet provider cannot see, record, share, or sell my browsing history because I never had it to begin with. What I really like about ExpressVPN is that it's easy to use. I just tap one button on the device, boom, bing, bop, boom, your phone, your laptop, your tablet, your desktop. You can know that your privacy is ironclad. So if you would like to join me in protecting all of our privacy, use a special link to get 3 extra months of ExpressVPN for free at expressvpn.com/election. That is expressvpn.com/ELECTION. There is a real irony. We're talking about winks of Providence, a little squirrel at Kamala's speech. Little winks of Providence. Democrats have been telling us democracy is on the ballot. Our Constitution's on the ballot for this whole election. And that might have ended up being true. Because Trump wins, and all of a sudden the political persecutions, they just disappear. Had Trump lost, good people would have gone to prison for disagreeing with Kamala and Joe Biden. Good people would have, the president of the United States, former president, chief political rival to the Dems, very possibly would have gone to prison. Very likely, perhaps, would have gone to prison. That would have represented far nearer an existential threat to our democracy than anything Donald Trump has ever said or done. Now, the question is, are we going to get pardons? And I sure hope we will. I hope for the majority of January 6thers who did very little, if anything, wrong on January 6th and who have sat in federal prison and who have had their records destroyed. I hope those people receive full pardons. For the pro-lifers who have been unjustly imprisoned by Democrats for violations of the FACE Act, this Bill Clinton-era law that was dishonest from the start. It said that it was going to protect access to abortion mills, but also to pregnancy centers and houses of worship. That's how they sold it. It was going to protect everybody. And it is not used to protect pro-life pregnancy centers. It is not used to protect churches. Churches can be vandalized. Pro-life pregnancy centers can be burned down. Forget about the FACE Act. The FACE Act is used to imprison Christian grandmothers who peacefully demonstrate at baby killing sites. And there are people, it shouldn't be totally a matter of age or sex, but I think it really drives the point home. There are 75-year-old grandmas who are sitting in federal prison right now because they peacefully demonstrated and objected and prayed about babies who are being slaughtered by Democrats. As they said, please don't kill the babies. And peaceful, they're not throwing fists. They're just at abortion clinics saying, please don't kill the babies. They go to federal prison for that. It would be wonderful if President Trump would issue full pardons to all of those people. All of the peaceful pro-lifers who just say no thanks. And then furthermore, I know I'm very happy to say there are lawmakers who listen to this show. There are people in political power who listen to this show at the state, and in this case, the federal level. The FACE Act has to go. The FACE Act is a disgusting law. It is a grave injustice. It does not do what it said it would do. It was sold on a lie, and it is used exclusively to persecute some of the best people in our country, peaceful Christians who just pray that we stop killing babies. It has been successfully wielded against those people. It's got to go. And I really hope, assuming we have a Republican House and a Republican Senate, we know we have the Republican White House, it would be a wonderful thing if we finally repealed that grave injustice of the FACE Act and pardoned everyone who's been unjustly prosecuted under it. Hold up. That was a great clip. Ring the bell. See you next time.